Thanissaro. Among those here, who are grasping no more. So here you come, conjecturing, your mind conjuring viewpoints. You're paired off with a pure one, and so cannot proceed. Magandhya Sutta. To Magandhya. Translated from the Pali by Thanissaro Bhikkhu. Magandhya offers his daughter to the Buddha, who replies, closing square bracket. On seeing the daughters of Mara. Discontent, craving, and passion. There wasn't even the desire for sex. So what would I want with this? Filled with urine and excrement. I wouldn't want to touch it, even with my foot. Magandhya. If you don't want this gem of a woman, coveted by many kings, then for what sort of viewpoint, precept, practice, life, attainment of further becoming, do you argue? The Buddha. I argue for this. Doesn't occur to one when considering what's grasped among doctrines. Looking for what I grasped with regard to views, and detecting inner peace, I saw. Magandhya. Sage, you speak without grasping at any preconceived judgments. This inner peace, what does it mean? How is it, by an enlightened person, proclaimed? The Buddha. He doesn't speak of purity in connection with view, learning, knowledge, precept or practice, nor is it found by a person through lack of view, of learning, of knowledge, of precept or practice. Letting these go without grasping, at peace, independent, one wouldn't long for becoming. Magandhya. If he doesn't speak of purity in connection with view, learning, knowledge, precept or practice, and it isn't found by a person through lack of view, of learning, of knowledge, of precept or practice, it seems to me that this teaching's confused. For some assume a purity in terms of, by means of, a view. The Buddha. Asking questions dependent on view. You're confused by what you have grasped, and so you don't glimpse even the slightest notion of what I am saying. That's why you think it's confused. Whoever construes equal, superior, or inferior, by that you dispute, whereas to one unaffected by these three, equal, superior, do not occur. Of what would the Brahmin say, true or false? Disputing with whom? He and whom, equal, unequal, or not. Having abandoned home, living free from society, the sage, in villages, creates no intimacies, rid of sensual passions, free from yearning. He wouldn't engage with people in quarrelsome debate. Those things, aloof from which he should go about in the world, the Great One wouldn't take them up and argue for them. As the prickly lotus is unsmeared by water and mud, so the sage, an exponent of peace without greed, is unsmeared by sensuality and the world. An attainer of wisdom isn't measured, made proud by views or what's thought, for he isn't fashioned of them. He wouldn't be led by action. Learning doesn't reach a conclusion in any entrenchments, for one dispassionate toward perception. There are no ties for one released by discernment. No delusions. Those who grasp at perceptions and views go about butting their heads in the world. Pure Beta Sutta. Before the breakup of the body. Translated from the Pali by Thanissaro Bhikkhu. Seeing how, behaving how, is one said to be at peace. Gautama, tell me about. When asked about the ultimate person, the Buddha, free from craving, before the breakup of the body, independent of before and the end, not classified in between. No yearning is his. Unangered, unstartled, unboastful, unanxious, giving counsel unruffled. He is a sage. His speech, under control, free from attachment, with regard to the future, not sorrowing over the past. He sees seclusion in the midst of sensory contacts. He can't be led in terms of views. Withdrawn, deceitful, not stingy, not miserly, not insolent, offensive. He doesn't engage in divisive speech, not intoxicated with enticements, nor given to pride. He's gentle, quick-witted, beyond conviction and dispassion. Not in hopes of material gain does he take on the training. When without material gain, he isn't upset, unobstructed by craving. He doesn't through craving hunger for flavors. Equanimous, always mindful. He doesn't conceive himself as equal, superior, inferior in the world. No swellings of pride are his, whose dependencies don't exist. When, on knowing the Dhamma, he's independent, in whom no craving is found for becoming or not. He is said to be at peace, unintent on sensual pleasures, with nothing at all to tie him down. One who's crossed over attachment. He has no children, cattle, fields, land. In him you can't pin down what's embraced or rejected. He has no yearning for that which people run-of-the-mill, or Brahmins and contemplatives, might blame, which is why he is unperturbed with regard to their words. His greed gone, not miserly. The sage doesn't speak of himself as among those who are higher, equal, or lower. He, conjuring free, doesn't submit to conjuring, to the cycling of time. For whom nothing in the world is his own. Who doesn't grieve over what is not. Who doesn't enter into doctrines, phenomena. He is said to be at peace. Kalaha-vivada Sutta, Quarrels and Disputes. Translated from the Pali by Thanissaro Bhikkhu. From where have there arisen quarrels, disputes, lamentation, sorrows, along with selfishness, conceit and pride, along with divisiveness? From where have they arisen? Please tell me. From what is dear, there have arisen quarrels, disputes, lamentation, sorrows, along with selfishness, conceit and pride, along with divisiveness. Tied up with selfishness are quarrels and disputes. In the arising of disputes is divisiveness. Where is the cause of things dear in the world, along with the greeds that go about in the world? And where is the cause of the hopes and fulfillments for the sake of a person's next life? Desires are the cause of things dear in the world, along with the greeds that go about in the world. And it too is the cause of the hopes and fulfillments for the sake of a person's next life. Now where is the cause of desire in the world? And from where have there arisen decisions, anger, lies, and perplexity, and all the qualities described by the contemplative? What they call appealing and unappealing in the world. Independence on that desire arises, having seen becoming and not. With regard to forms, a person gives rise to decisions in the world. Anger, lies, and perplexity. These qualities, too, when that pair exists, a person perplexed should train for the path of knowledge. For it's in having known that the contemplative has spoken of qualities dhammas. Where is the cause of appealing and when what isn't? Do they not exist? And whatever is meant by becoming and not, tell me, where is its cause? Contact is the cause of appealing and when contact isn't, they do not exist. And whatever is meant by becoming and not, this too is its cause. Now where is the cause of contact in the world? And from where have graspings, possessions, arisen? When what isn't? Does mindness not exist? When what has disappeared? Do contacts not touch? Conditioned by name and form is contact. In longing do graspings, possessions have their cause. When longing isn't, mindness does not exist. When forms have disappeared, contacts don't touch. For one arriving at what? Does form disappear? How do pleasure and pain disappear? Tell me this. My heart is set on knowing how they disappear. One not percipient of perceptions, not percipient of aberrant perceptions, not unpercipient, nor percipient of what's disappeared. For one arriving at this, form disappears. For objectification classifications have their cause in perception. What we have asked, you have told us. We ask one more thing. Please tell it. Do some of the wise say that just this much is the utmost? The purity of the spirit is here? Or do they say that it's other than this? Some of the wise say that just this much is the utmost. The purity of the spirit is here. But some of them, who say they are skilled, say it's the moment, with no clinging remaining, knowing,